What is going on, everyone? So in this video I'm going to be pimping out this PS5 controller by installing different types of extreme raids mods. First, we're going to install the clicky hair triggers. I'm also going to install the 4 back paddles, and we're going to change this faceplate. Once this is done, it should be a beautiful first-person shooter controller. Now let's get started. All the products in this video will be linked in my description, so make sure you check it out. First item we have is we're going to be changing our faceplate to this pretty cool Hawaiian style looking one. We also have our chrome trimming that's going to put a nice finish on there. And we have our back paddles that we're going to be installing. And the last item is the clicky hair triggers. So the first part is taking apart the controller by removing this trim, and we're going to have 2 screws here, and we're also going to remove these 2 screws here on top of these triggers. Once the back shell is removed, we could remove the battery, the back case. Once the back case is removed, we could start removing all of these ribbon cables. So to install the clicky hair triggers, I need to remove these triggers first, so we're going to do that. Now I have a couple more screws here to remove the triggers. To open the triggers, I have 1, 2, 3, and under here we have another screw we have to get to. Once we have the L2 trigger off, we're going to insert one of these clips that comes with the hair trigger kit. Tighten it in. It should look like this. Now we could remove this molding part that's inside the trigger. And we're going to replace it with this part that came with the hair trigger kit. And now we could go ahead and put back our trigger on. Put back this little piece here, which connects here. I'm gonna make sure that's working properly. Now we could just put the screws back on. Now we could just take the trigger, put it back in here, and we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Now that both of our hair triggers are installed, while we have this open here, we could just go ahead real quick and clean it. This part's very sensitive. Any dust or debris could make the buttons not work. So just want to take some alcohol wipes and just clean this strip here. And we could put aside this for now. We're going to get our brand new front shell. Flip it over, and basically we're going to take everything that's in this one and put it here. So we're going to go ahead and start removing these buttons and the padding and installing it here. And it should look like this. So now we're going to change this white plain touchpad into this one. So we're going to try to take out this little chip inside by opening it up, and we want to use some kind of a heat gun or a prying tool to get this peeled off. Now we could put this back on here. And now we could put the inner controller back on here. Now we can start assembling our back paddles. So we're going to take this strip here that came with our paddle kit, and we're just going to pop open the motherboard and insert it on the back. In here we could start putting back the ribbon cables, like this one and this one. And we're just going to go ahead and install these in here where the other ones were. This one we will make the necessary foldings. And we could now put the battery case on. And the battery goes back on here. I'm going to tear this open and stick it on here. Now we can take our back case with the paddles and the shell installed and slide this in here, and we're going to lock everything into place and close the controller. Now we need to take this little motherboard and hook it up to this ribbon cable. Once it's in there, lock it. And now the last part, we're just going to put the case back on, click it on, and we close the controller with the 2 screws here and 2 screws here. Before we put the L1 and the R1 button, we're just going to insert this little clip in here that came with the clicky hair triggers. So this is L1 and this is R1. So there you go, guys. You have clicky hair triggers with 4 paddles. This controller came out looking slick and beautiful, and I just love how it feels in my hands. The 4 paddles are great and will increase your functionality of the controller. This will definitely make you a more efficient player and improve your quickness and movements. It may take some time to adjust to this type of controller if you're coming from a standard DualSense controller. The clicky hair triggers are on point. I've been using this for over a year now, and I tried playing with many other controllers including the Edge, but I always come back to this type of extreme raid controller, mainly because of the 4 paddles, and it's just more simpler for me. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.